welcome or welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're gonna kind of pick up from where we left off on the last video, and I'm gonna keep working on my collection. So the last time I had just cut out my paper patterns for the corset for one of my looks. I think what I'm gonna do for videos related to my collection is just kind of do like, I'll film me making the different pieces, but I'm not gonna like, I feel like I'm not gonna share exactly what I'm doing or like what the looks are supposed to be yet. I kind of want it to be a bit more of a surprise, but I'll still film like me making the stuff because it's like pieces at a time. But I will say I am making 8 looks this time around. Last year I did 4. This year I'm gonna do 8. We'll see how this goes, because also a lot of my looks are also gonna have like corset tops, and so that is what that's what I made the last time that I had draped, and I cut out the patterns, and now I have to move on to the next step, which is truing my patterns. What truing patterns means is you have your paper patterns, and for example, mine have different notches for when they have to line up, but basically you're just lining up your patterns, you're placing it on the table, and you're going along from top to bottom and trying to match up the notches and just see if everything matches up. And if some of the edges don't really align up, then you can take some paper and kind of add to the pattern or take away from the pattern. But basically what truing your patterns does is make sure that your patterns match up, and when you go to sew it out of actual fabric, it all matches up. So that is what I'm doing right now. These are my back pieces, and then this is my front side piece. And when I was checking it, I could tell that like the top of the back was like kind of a weird shape. So I looked back at the pictures I took of it like on the dress form, and it looks like the back is just like going straight across, but I think I want to have it angled down a little bit, so that's what I'm gonna do here. So I have my new line, and I think instead of just like cutting the paper, I'm just gonna fold it along that line. Maybe. Just so in case it like doesn't work out, I have the original one as well. So I finished truing all my patterns for the front pieces, the back pieces. So now I can use these to cut it out of the fabric. I still have to do a little bit more research on how much seam allowance that I'm gonna add to this, if any, just because since it's a corset, it needs to have negative ease. So I think I'll have to look into that, but for now, I'm done with this. And I think what I want to do is maybe work on all the pattern papers before cutting things out of fabric, so that I could just do it all together, because I want to have mock-ups for every look by the 31st, because that's our next fittings. So that's the plan. Also, I don't know if any of you guys watched my other videos of when I made the collection last year, but same as last year, I got a binder to organize everything. I also included a little pouch like this so I can try and keep track of all my expenses. So I've been putting my receipts for things of like fabrics I've bought and everything in here, just so I can kind of like keep track of what I've bought so far, just so I have an idea of how much I spent. Because last year I feel like I didn't do too good a job of that, and I kind of did want to see how much I spent on everything. Anyway, I've started to organize things already. I put the like clear little dividers in here, and I just put all the measurements that I've taken so far for my models in here. But it's also great for me to store my paper patterns so I don't lose them somewhere, because that would be tragic. So I'm gonna store these in here for now until the time comes when I need them to cut out of the fabric. So I just took some time to kind of write out what I want to do and kind of how I envision the structure of all of my dresses to be, just so I can try and organize my thoughts and figure out my next steps on what I want to do. So I was just looking at my sketches of my dresses and like figuring out how I want them to be made, and I just stuck it up over my desk so I can see it, maybe like cross it out when I need to, like when it's done and whatnot. So now I feel like I have a clearer thought process on what I need to get done. So, and like what patterns I need to start on next. Sure. Let's see, what time is it right now? I'm like filming on my phone, so I can't check my phone. It's 2:44. Okay. I think what I'm gonna do actually right now is work on my sister's dress a bit, just so I can get it off my dress form, so I can use my dress form for other things. I had added the extra beading that I needed to on the back, and I've been playing around with the little cape draping situation in the front. It just like was not working out. It was not like aligning and fitting, but I think I know what I need to do now in order for it to work a bit better. But I think I just need to take a little break from it and do something else, and then come back to it a little bit later. So what I'm gonna do is go to a little cafe, get a matcha latte, do some editing, then like go to the gym and come back and keep working on it. Because ideally I would really love to get this done tonight, but I feel like that might not be very realistic. But at least I want to figure out the little cape draping thing situation in the front. But I need a little break and I need to get some editing done, so let's go do that. His cage has been opened all day, and he chooses to stay in here. He has come out and hopped around, but I don't know, he stays in here. Okay, I'm gonna be closed up now. It's the next day. I don't know what's going on with my hair. I just let it air dry today. It's a little crazy, but I'm really just starting my day to start working on things, and it's like almost 2 o'clock, I would say, because like in the morning I had a doctor's appointment that went on for a while because I had to, well, one, it just takes forever to actually see the doctor, but then I also had to wait for a really long time to get lab work done. So I was very busy this morning, so I couldn't really work on stuff, but I'm back to it. I don't know why I'm like really tired right now. Anyway, last night I finally figured out how to drape that thing, the little cape thing, onto the dress, and I kind of wanted to show you guys how I did that. So this is what it looks like. It's just pleated. Since this is like just a big rectangle, I just took a corner of it and pleated it, but what the issue I was having was I would try and just drape it on and like fold it down, pin it, and then try and just like pleat it on here, but then it always ended up being like too short, or you know. So then I finally just sat down and actually calculated the pleats. I looked online to see like kind of like a pleat calculator thing, and I found someone had kind of written an article of like different kinds of pleats and kind of how to calculate them. So those pleats, there's like no spacing, and it's just like the fabric folded on top of each other, and it was a very simple one to do. So I will show you how I did those pleats. The first thing you want to do is measure the area where you want to have pleats. In my case, it was along the neckline of this dress. This up here is the information that you need to decide your pleats, and then these are the formulas that we're using. Now you have to figure out what you know. So I took the measurement on the dress, and this is my finished fabric length, which is 5 inches, because I want the pleats to be on top of this, so it's 5 inches. And then since I have 2, I want there to be 2, I divided that in 2, so it's 2.5. So that's what my F is 2.5 inches. And then for the width, you kind of just decide on how wide you want your pleats to be, and I just went with 1/2 inch. And so I needed to figure out what L is and what N is. So then that's when you use these formulas here, and it's just simple math after this. So I started off with this middle formula first because I knew what F is and I needed to know what L was. So L equals 3 times 2.5. So L equals 7.5 inches. So now we have L, which is the length of the fabric used before the pleats. So that's how long I needed my fabric piece to be before I started pleating. Now we just need to find N. So now you can just do this formula to find N. Since you know 2.5 equals N times 0.5, then you just divide it, and N will equal 5. So now that we have all the calculations, I know that my fabric needs to be 7.5 inches, and I will be making 5 pleats at 1/2 inch wide. I then used my cutting mat to help me measure out my fabric. I also marked every 1/2 inch on the fabric with a pin to help me with making my pleats. After marking my fabric with the pins, I start to fold over the fabric to make the pleats, using the pins as markers. I do my best to then pin everything into place. After pinning everything, I used my sewing machine to sew a line down the edge of the fabric to hold everything together. Okay, I have finally finished this dress. I stitched down the little kind of cape situation, and yay, it's finally done. I started this so long ago and I've been procrastinating finishing it. Yay! Unfortunately for you guys, I don't think I'll like show you it all together just yet, just because it is part of my collection, so you'll see it all put together on the day of the show. So sorry about that if it's a bit disappointing, but yeah, I just kind of want to keep it a little bit more of a secret. And like, I mean, I feel like you basically saw what it was gonna be anyway, so. But also I got some really good news. While I was working on the dress, my mom texted us that we got this cutie. She's so cute, little kitten. Because unfortunately our beloved family cat Chester, we had to put him down a few months ago because he was just not doing good. He was already 16 years old. He's already had some health issues and he just kind of took a downhill turn, so we had to say goodbye. And I think we've all been kind of feeling a little bit empty without having a cat, and so my mom's been really wanting to get one. She's been going to like the Humane Society like every day to check on kittens and everything, and we finally got one and she's so cute. But I don't know when I'm gonna be able to go home anytime soon to go see it though. I'll have to make time. I want to see the kitten. She's so freaking cute. Okay, well, finally done with this, and I really need to start moving on to other ones now. So, yay! So I forgot to finish the vlog yesterday, but I just wanted to hop on and say I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you were able to maybe learn something from the video. I hoped you enjoyed watching. Let me know if there's anything else you would like me to talk about or share, but I will see you very soon with a new video. I think my next video is actually going to be me starting my very last first week of college ever. It is my final semester, so I'll take you along for that. So I'll see you guys then. Bye!